Hello, everyone. Once again, it is story time with Teacher Cole. For those who don't know me, I am your host, Teacher Cole, and the owner of Teacher Cole's English Corner. It is an online tutoring company with many highly educated teachers ready and willing to teach you English online. We teach adults and children using many unique methods such as cultural studies, current events, social studies, science, literature, and traditional lessons as well. But today is a new story. And because this is the month of Thanksgiving, we are going to join the Hoppers on the day before Thanksgiving. They are having quite the snowstorm and have been invited to go to Grandpa Bear's Thanksgiving feast. Will they make it on time? Let's get started and find out, shall we? The day before Thanksgiving. This is a Raz story illustrated by David Cockcroft. The day before Thanksgiving. The Hoppers awoke one late November morning, and the snow was falling outside. They jumped out of their beds and ran to the window. "Come downstairs, Hoppers," called Mother Hopper. "There's a letter here for you." The Hoppers dashed downstairs. "Let me read it," yelled Speedy Legs. "Let me read it," shouted Floppy Ears. "I want to read it," hollered Fluffy Tail. "A letter, a letter," said Snubby Nose, and he jumped up and down. Oh, why do you think they're so excited for a letter? Would you be excited if you got a letter? "I will read it," said Mother Hopper. She read the letter out loud. "Dear Hoppers, I invite you all to come to my house in the woods to spend Thanksgiving Day. Your loving Grandpa Grizzly." "Thanksgiving at Grandpa Grizzly's? Hooray!" shouted Snubby Nose. "Now it's time to bundle up to go to school," said Mother Hopper. "It is cold outside and snowing hard." Outside, the wind blew and the snow fell. The four Hoppers put on their warm coats, mittens, hats, and scarves. What do you wear outside where you live when it is cold? This is the biggest snowstorm I've ever seen, said Speedy Legs. "The snow already comes halfway up to the windows," said Floppy Ears. "Let's get our sled out," said Fluffy Tail. "We can sled to school." The Hoppers got out their sled and took turns pulling each other on it. They sledded all the way to school. The snow was very deep, and the wind was very cold. Once they were in school, the snow came down harder and harder. By noon, the students could not see across the road. "Oh dear," said the teacher. I think we will have to have a snow day. After lunch, you must all go home. What do you think will happen to the hoppers? Will they make it home? Let's see. After lunch, the hoppers ran out of the school to find their sled. But the snow had become so deep that they couldn't find it. Our sled is buried, said Fluffy Tail. We'll have to walk home, said Speedy Legs. The four hoppers walked bravely through the snowstorm. At first, they played in the snow. They threw snowballs and made snow angels. Snubby Nose tried to catch the falling snowflakes with his tongue. But the snow was so deep that they soon became very tired. Floppy Ears fell into a snowdrift, and the other hoppers had to pull her out. Then Snubby Nose slipped and fell and hurt his chin. He cried a little bit, so Speedy Legs carried him. All the time, it grew colder and colder. Oh my, what a problem! They are cold and tired and injured. What do you think will happen next? Have you made your guess? Do you have your prediction ready? Let's see. We're lost, cried Fluffytail. I think it's beginning to get dark, moaned Floppy Ears. And the snow just keeps coming down, said Speedy Legs. We'll miss Thanksgiving at Grandpa Grizzly's house, wailed Snubby Nose. It was very cold, and the hoppers all stood in a circle, trying to keep warm. The wind blew, and snow fell all around. Suddenly, they heard a large rumbling noise, and they saw a bright light coming toward them. What's that? Cried Fluffy Tail. It's a train, said Floppy Ears. It's a truck, yelled Speedy Legs. What do you think it is coming toward them? Is it a train? Is it a truck? Let's find out. We'll be run over, cried Snubby Nose. The light and the rumble stopped right in front of the hoppers. Bless my fur, called a voice from behind the light. Here are four hoppers out in a blizzard. It's Grandpa Grizzly in his big snow plow, said Snubby Nose. We're saved! All four hoppers leapt inside Grandpa Grizzly's snow plow. They sat up high while the plow pushed a path through the snowstorm. It carried them all the way back home. Go and get Mother and Papa Hopper, Speedy Legs, said Grandpa Grizzly, and tell them to pack their overnight bags. You all can stay at my house tonight. We will sit by the fire and have hot cocoa. And tomorrow we will have a big Thanksgiving feast. Hooray! shouted Snubby Nose. Speedy Legs dashed into the house and brought out Mother and Papa Hopper as fast as he could. All the Hoppers rode Grandpa Grizzly's snowplow to his big house. Inside, Grandpa Grizzly had a warm fire and hot cocoa. There were 6 bedrooms, all with snug feather beds. The next day, they all had a wonderful Thanksgiving feast. Well, this is the end of our story today. What did you think of the Hoppers and their wonderful winter adventure? Would you like to be stuck in a snowstorm? I think I would rather sit by the fire with some hot cocoa. Well, this has been the end of our story today. As always, feel free to join our Facebook group, Teacher Cole's English Corner, where you can join like-minded parents just like yourself who have questions about their students' online learning or questions about our adults program as well. As always, I look forward to seeing you next week for a new story. Goodbye, everyone.